Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Hey, yo, hold your horses. Let's not take it to the stupid. Make sure you like, subscribe, become a member to the channel, leave that donation for that fried rice and chicken wings. Hey, yo, how is it people out here are trying to rule out Andy Cruz? Talking about there's no way in the world a guy with less than 10 fights, I think it's 6 fights, is going to beat Raymond Muratalla. Well, I'll just say this. When Andy Cruz enters the ring against Muratalla, he knows he's not just facing an undefeated pressure fighter. He's facing a fighter trained by Robert Garcia, a coach known for building relentless, disciplined, physically demanding fighters. Bozy Ennis knows what he's up against as a trainer. This really boils down to trainer against trainer, if you ask me. But this is not a fight Andy Cruz wins by coasting. He can't just come and chicken peck, coochie coo, and think he's going to tickle himself to a victory. Nah, it's not a fight he wins by simply just being slick. It's a fight he wins by controlling rhythm, distance, and mental tempo from start to finish. And that's where Bozy Ennis comes in. You know, Bozy is one of the most, I think when it comes to boxing, respected minds. Just when it comes to neutralizing pressure with intelligence, not panicking. He doesn't train fighters to run. He trains them to dictate, frustrate, and punish mistakes with precision. Against Muratalla, the goal is not to impress. The goal is to disarm him. Some people are trying to make a comparison between Andy Cruz and Bozy Ennis, but the reality is this. Andy Cruz and Jerron are two different fighters. You can't expect Jerron to fight like Andy, and do not expect Andy to try to fight like Jerron this weekend. Because they understand the problem over there in the Cruz camp. They understand who Raymond Muratalla is. Raymond Muratalla he's not reckless pressure. He's educated pressure. He cuts the ring, stays balanced, and doesn't waste energy chasing. Under Robert Garcia, Muratalla will come out conditioned, patient, and committed to making Cruz uncomfortable over 12 rounds. Muratalla's strengths include consistent forward pressure, strong jab to the body and chest, physical engagement on the inside, mental discipline. He does not panic. So this means Cruz can't simply rely on movement alone, because too much movement without consequence allows Muratalla to bank rounds through activity and control, kind of like when Teofimo Lopez fought Jermaine Ortiz. So Bozy Ennis' plan is not move more. For him, I'm pretty sure they're like, look, we know we got to move, but we got to move smarter. This guy's going to be coming at us, so we got to punch harder. And he's not going to stop, so we got to make him pay for every single step that he takes coming forward. And I just feel Bozy Ennis, he has a core philosophy when it comes to fights. Because you can look at Jerron Ennis, you see something special. You even saw when Gerald Big Baby Miller trained with him for the Andy Ruiz fight. Gerald Big Baby Miller was doing things that most of us didn't think he could do. And he, in our opinion, won that fight. But Bozy Ennis believes pressure fighters must be taxed, not avoided. You know, and this is going to be very critical here, because if Andy Cruz gets this wrong, he's going to get hurt. He may get stopped. But against Muratalla, I think Cruz's mission is to just try to, I'd say, control distance early, establish consequences for pressure, got to make him pay. Try to break Muratalla's rhythm without overcommitting, and win rounds quietly, but win them clearly. Bozy understands that judges reward control, clean punching, and ring generalship. Look at any and everybody he's trained, and when they get in the ring and fight, you always see all of his fighters trying to control, have clean punches, ring generalship. Cruz doesn't need to dominate exchanges. He needs to own the geography of the ring and just make Muratalla pay and take it round by round. Now, I just did a video on Muratalla. I'm doing this one on Cruz, and it's important to understand the diet. You know, maintaining speed, maintaining his sharpness, maintaining his recovery. So they say you are what you eat. And for Andy Cruz, his diet in this camp, it really is about preserving speed and clarity. He doesn't need to try to add muscle. Extra weight dulls reaction time, and against a pressure fighter, delayed reactions are costly. His nutrition focuses on lean proteins for muscle maintenance, complex carbs for sustained movement, electrolyte balance to prevent leg fatigue, and anti-inflammatory foods for joint and tendon health. The goal is to keep Cruz light on his feet the whole 12 rounds. They don't want him to be explosive in round 2. Nah, they need him to be Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Jack jumped over the candlestick. That's what they need. Now, as far as the cardio and conditioning, it's just really efficiency over exertion, Cruz's conditioning is built differently than Muratalla's. Not because it's lesser, but because it's more efficient. Instead of constant forward pressure conditioning, Cruz, his camps emphasize, and I'm getting this off the video I just watched. It's on Matchroom. You go take a look at it. They have a video out there about Cruz and him getting ready for Muratalla. But I saw some burst movement drills, some recovery-based cardio. I saw some short, sharp punch combinations, and it looks like there was some breathing control under pressure that was going on. Bozy Ennis trains Cruz to win exchanges with minimal energy loss. The idea is to make Muratalla work harder than Cruz while still losing rounds. That's going to be interesting to see if they can do that. You got Muratalla working hard, Cruz not working as hard, he's working smarter, but still has Muratalla losing rounds. That's going to be interesting. I did notice that Andy Cruz was doing some strengthening too. Balance, core, and punch resistance. I saw a lot of that going on in the video. Cruz's strength training is subtle, but it's critical. Wasn't anything over the top. Seemed to be a focus on core stability to maintain balance while pivoting, hip mobility for sharp angle changes, neck and upper body conditioning for clinch resistance, functional strength to hold ground briefly when needed. So Cruz is not trying to overpower Muratalla. He's trying to not be moved when Muratalla attempts to bully his way inside. Now the sparring, I didn't get to see much, but I'll say, based on what I know about Bozy, about Jerron, about how Andy Cruz has prepared before, I think it's more about simulating that intelligent pressure. Cruz's sparring partners are carefully selected. They are high output pressure fighters, fighters who cut the ring off effectively, fighters who attack the body, because that's what Muratalla is going to do. Bozy Ennis is drilling Cruz to punch Muratalla during him stepping forward, pivoting after contact, not before, using feints to freeze that pressure, and clinch briefly and reset when necessary. So the goal is to interrupt Muratalla's momentum, not avoid it entirely. If he can interrupt Muratalla's momentum and do that every single round, Andy Cruz has a good chance to win, especially by decision. Now, how Cruz controls the fight, he ain't going to control the fight the way he's been fighting. There needs to be some technical adjustments. Andy Cruz wins this fight with timing and punishment, not volume. He's got to stay cool as a cucumber, have great timing, and punish Muratalla. He's got to punish him. He can't come in there trying to throw 70 punches around. That's not his fight. That's not what he needs to do. There's a couple key technical focuses in here that include very sharp jabs to stop forward momentum, check hooks and straight rights when Muratalla steps in, body shots to discourage constant pressure, and then feints to draw Muratalla out of position, and then deliver clean counters, because every clean counter is going to matter in this fight. Even if Cruz throws fewer punches, his shots must look and feel more damaging. That is very, very important. But in order to do that, there needs to be a mental preparation and something that's going to give him a calm advantage. One of Andy Cruz's greatest strengths is his composure. You can tell he's comfortable inside that ring. And Bozy Ennis is reinforcing that calm, not letting Cruz feel rushed by crowd reactions or perceived momentum shifts. Mental preparation centers on accepting close rounds without frustration, trusting clean work over activity, staying disciplined when Muratalla presses late, never abandoning the game plan. You've got to stick to the game plan. So Bozy's message is clear. Pressure only works if you let it work. And their goal is to ensure they don't allow it to work. So the path to victory, what it looks like in real time, I'll say this. If Andy Cruz is winning this fight, you'll notice Muratalla walking into counters early. Muratalla's body language is going to speak that he's being defeated. Cruz pivoting after landing, not before. Muratalla slowing slightly by the middle rounds. Frustration in the corner of Muratalla. Cruz winning exchanges with fewer punches. And frustration creeping into Muratalla's whole body and his body language. So this is not going to be a crowd-pleasing blowout from Andy Cruz. I think for Andy Cruz, it's just about, a technical shutdown and just winning the fight. So at the end of the day, Raymond Muratalla wants to make this a physical, grinding fight. Andy Cruz wants to make it mentally exhausting. With Bozy Ennis guiding him, Cruz isn't trying to escape pressure. He's trying to weaponize Muratalla's aggression against him. And I'll say this, if Cruz executes, if he can execute, Muratalla will feel like he worked all night and still came up short. I can't wait for this fight, man. I just think he's going to be interesting with that pressure that Muratalla is bringing. That's Robert Garcia. The pressure, I'm telling you, the pressure, man. But if Bozy can put together the kind of game plan where Cruz can do the things I just mentioned, Cruz is going to be on to the next. Cruz can fight, man. That's all I want to say. But that pressure, I'm just telling you, that Robert Garcia pressure, and his fighters, man, they're just different animals inside the ring. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to take away from nobody. But one thing we know is Bozy Ennis, he's got his stuff together too as a trainer. This is a 50-50 fight. At one moment, I'm leaning to Muratalla. The other moment, I'm leaning to Andy Cruz. But you just got to wait and see how it plays out. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze. It's time for me to go jogging.